Sometimes when cis people are confused, they can be violent.
Very much so.
Why do you think they're getting that kind of representation? I mean, it's clearly was aggressive, violent assault.
You suck. You suck. Fuck you. Fuck you. You're not wanted. Fuck you. You're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot.
I don't know what to say.
Fuck
I guess
you.
these police officers
Fuck
are mostly
you.
indoctrinated as well.
Everyone here
They're afraid of the mob.
because you're a
I
fucking
think
idiot.
they're afraid that if they do anything to actually keep law and order, that they'll end up being on the end of this verbal abuse. So it's just cowardice from everybody all around.
People probably want to know, how do you keep your composure?
Fuck you!
What's that?
How do you keep your composure?
Fuck you! 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 Hey! Get the fucking ass up there!
Excuse me, did you just say he came here to incite violence by forcing his opinion on people?
Yeah. Yes.
You think he came here to incite violence because they got offended by his sign?
When you
What
talk
is
to
wrong
someone
with you?
and scream at someone and
He
put
didn't
your
scream
face...
at all.
Yes,
he
he
didn't.
did.
They put their face in his face. What is wrong with you?
Okay.
So are you saying the guy who hit him?
How on earth did you become a police officer?
Self-defense?
She's literally
What?
sitting here saying that Billboard Chris is inciting violence by standing there with his sign. Is that really your position?
Okay, sir. We're done with this conversation.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought so. This is absolutely unbecoming of the Vancouver Police Department. Disgusting.
If you want to claim that we're the dangerous ones, well, they're the one being violent. What an interesting way to gaslight. As usual, though, I keep getting this very strange feeling, like deja vu. Like this has somehow happened before.
There is an ugly battle being waged at the University of Toronto. It's a battle of the sexes, and it includes allegations of hate speech, free speech, bullying, harassment, even violence. Avery Haynes is here now with tonight's Inside Story. Avery.
Gord University higher education, historically a hotbed of political activism and idealism, where new ideas are born, where debate is welcome, and where politics are challenged. So this may surprise you.
What we want at a university is not just different body types, but different viewpoints, different worldviews.
The comments hardly seem controversial.
A victim is a victim is a victim.
Two authors speak about equality in a small windowless room on campus at U of T. Their voices often drowned out by the shouts and chants from the hallway. And right outside the door, dozens of protesters try to disrupt the event.
That's the problem of a double standard, which is, double standards underlie this entire conversation.
And here's why there's such controversy. The event is sponsored by a men's rights association. The topic of the event, misandry, the discrimination against and hatred of men.
Misandry is there, so you're exposing a group to hatred.
Just 20 minutes into the discussion, the fire alarm is pulled. The crowd inside is escorted outside, where the protesters unleash venom.
And so are MRA, so get the back in your treehouse.
Shame on you. Shame on you.
I don't have a penis, that's why. That's the only reason. It's not a logical reason. It's not, but that's the way of the world, and you don't experience it the same way that I do every goddamn day.
Before this event started, the debate was more civil.
We do definitely have a problem with largely people who aren't part of our campus community coming on and spreading these kind of messages about hate.
I think they're misguided, but I think they're well within their rights to protest. The only time we have problems are when they become violent or commit harassment, like they did, the group did back in November.
Ian Dwyer is referring to this.
This is what men's rights look like. This is what men's rights look like.
Violence broke out when protesters tried to stop an on-campus speech by controversial author Warren Farrell last November, a speech about the boy crisis in education.
You should be ashamed of yourself. You're scum. You are scum.
The U of T administration officially recognizes the men's rights group. The student union, on the other hand, wants them kicked off campus.
If you are only going to accept people to have their voices heard on campus, if you believe in what they're saying, then it's a dangerous game to be playing.
What we believe is that free speech ends when hate speech begins. There was a discussion about justifying rape. How there's different types of rape, and there's one type of criminal rape and accidental rape, and how a woman is mind raping a man, and thus he couldn't help himself from raping her. So it's okay.
The student union says this group may look harmless, but what they're doing online is anything but.
They've been putting photos up of outspoken women on campus on their website, saying that they hope they get what's coming to them.
They're referring to this, a Texas-based website called Voice for Men. Under the heading of featured offenders, women at the U of T protests are outed for being bigots. A link to longer stories on the women says, take note of how easy it is to track these people down and document their actions. The website also grabs some of the protesters' Twitter feeds, like this one. Political position, kill all men, hail Satan.
We are absolutely 100% opposed to violence. We have no patience for it. We don't think it's a legitimate tool of political change.
But the U of T student union says female students are scared.
Your feeling is that the university should ban this group from being on campus?
Yes.
And why are you hesitant to say yes?
I feel I'm going to be targeted afterwards.
Do you really?
Mm-hmm.
Derailing for dummies, the author, people.
Both sides feel harassed and bullied by the other, and neither shows any sign of backing down.
They seem to be wanting to bully us into silence, which is really kind of disgusting and deplorable.
We're still going to show up. We're still going to name names, even if they are willing to go online and harass and call for violence against us.
So far, the UFT administration has not agreed to the student union's request to kick the men's rights groups off campus. The protesters say they will continue their campaign against the MRAs.
Theoretically, though, a university is a place for an exchange of ideas, discussion, debate, all of that, but there's a lot of anger here.
There is, and it's kind of surprising to me that we're at this point where somehow that men's rights, issues that face men, and there are issues that face men about custody issues, about suicide rates, about the boys' education crisis, which we touched on the Inside Story earlier, that somehow that's taking away from women or attacking women. I think it's shameful to me that women and men can't talk about their individual problems without it being against somebody else.
Exactly. All right, thank you.
Years ago, it started with the feminist movement starting to attack men's rights activists because how dare men expect to have any kind of rights in this world? And the same talking points were thrown back then that are thrown today. It was women's rights matter, women's lives matter, to the extent of ignoring any other potential problems in the world or even any potential problems that are being caused by their own movement. And now you have transgenderism that is literally doing the same thing. Whether you are a men's rights activist or whether you are a feminist, you are under attack by the trans movement. Because they don't want there to be an understanding of what a woman is. They don't want there to be an understanding of what a man is. They want to distort everything. And they use the same tactics. They gaslight in the same way. They are narcissists in the same way that feminists are and were. It is the same thing, just with a different face. It is the same thing with a different name. It's the same monster. Transgenderism is just a mutation out of feminism. There's a lot of evidence to suggest that. If you disagree with them, if you disagree with the trans ideology, they will attack you for it. Just like if you disagree with the feminist ideology, they'll attack you for it, just like they have done so many times in the past. And the interesting part of this is that now, feminists that attacked so many men's rights activists for speaking their truth are now being attacked by the trans ideology. Until next time, folks, have a nice day.